Kenny, this is a disappointing one. These are the wide receivers that the Browns have drafted since 2010 by round. Round 1, Corey Coleman. Round 2, Greg Little. That does not include Josh Gordon, who was the equivalent of a second-rounder. He was taken via the supplemental draft. He's probably the most successful of these. The round 3 guys are the guys that the Browns have taken in the last several years. Tillman, see if he can develop. Anthony Schwartz, they've already moved on from. Then it's Benjamin, Lewis, Callaway, Malley. Higgins had some time in the league. DPJ had some success, but they decided to move on from him. Michael Woods has been injured. When you look at that list, that tells you you haven't had a quarterback. You haven't had wide receivers. You haven't developed either in a passing league. That's why you've struggled.
Well, yeah, we look at the 3 major sports, right? Major League Baseball, it's about hitting home runs. The NBA, it's about hitting 3-pointers, right? And in the NFL, it's about throwing the football and catching the football. The Guardians were dead last in home runs. They finished 3rd in the standings. They did nothing to upgrade that this offseason. Could be a long year for them. Cavaliers, what did they do? They went out, they added Max Strus to provide some toughness and 3-point ability. Georgie Niang, 3-point ability, right? Where are they? They're the 2nd seed now in the Eastern Conference as we come down the stretch. And the Browns, they need somebody to pair with Amari Cooper that is a wide receiver. David Njoku, a nice option as a tight end, but you need a legitimate number 2 wide receiver to go with your number 1 if you're going to contend, for a Super Bowl championship. And some people might say, well, Roadman, name me the 3 or 4 wide receivers that Kansas City has. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter who their receivers are because they have the best player in any sport right now on the planet in Patrick Mahomes. But you need to be able to throw the football effectively down the field, score touchdowns that way to win in this league. And yes, a lot of that starts with Deshaun Watson. Can he make the receivers they have better? We haven't seen that yet, so we don't know. So why not give him some help along with Amari Cooper and, swing for the fences and bring in a legit number 2 who maybe in the future could be your number 1 if you get rid of Amari Cooper.
And to your point, the Chiefs hit on Rashee Rice. That he developed into that number 1 guy. Yeah. So it'll be they got to get somebody, and they got to get somebody. They got to draft somebody. They got to develop somebody, and it's time to put some capital into it. They've only drafted 3 since 2010 in the first 2 rounds. That's got to be bottom in the NFL. Has to be.
I don't know where it ranks, but it's got to be near the bottom, and it's not good. And so this is your chance, right? Your window is now. That window is wide open. Come on in, right? Bring in that wide receiver. Bring in that edge rusher to lock up JOK. Go for this because this is your opportunity with what you're paying Deshaun Watson. Why do the San Francisco 49ers have a bigger window of opportunity? Well, they have it because they don't have to pay Brock Purdy ridiculous amounts of money. He's still on his rookie contract. When you're paying the top dollar to quarterbacks, it affects the rest of your roster and what you can pay in free agency. So you've got to find a way with this cap going up $30 million to address, in my opinion, your biggest need on the entire team, and that's the number 2 receiver opposite Amari Cooper.